Salate. First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Yep. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, 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 hey. All right. We're going to see who's coming in. So first day without Twitter, without friends of First Sky Omaha. This is strictly YouTube and the First Sky Omaha page on Facebook for the moment. Let's see if we hold on to it. Buenos dias. Lucia Rodriguez came in first. What's going on? Good morning to you. Josh Take says, hey, happy Friday on YouTube. Got the message, huh?
Message.
Buddy, check it out. Message. Welcome. Time to get up and get your body moving.
Hey.
Mark Manor says, oh, I got it to work, I think. I thought I was going to be the old man that couldn't figure this out.
No, just come on in.
Come on, bro. You're Gen X. You can figure everything out. Josh Tay says, I converted. That's what's up, man. Appreciate you. Morning fam from Brother Valentine.
Please.
Look at all these red squares. What red squares is going down?
Man, come to death row.
Come to death row. Shout out to the 630 crew. Let us know how the mix was this morning on Friends of First on First Sky Omaha, the radio channel. And yeah, man, we'll see how many people we get in today. Tell a friend. It's a big move today.
We got one.
Yeah, Wanda Lewis, come on in on the Facebook page. What's up, Wanda Lewis? Good morning.
But you know, sometimes she double it up. She doubles up like Nipsey Hussle.
Hey. Welcome on this Friday, December 2nd, 2022 for a fresh edition of First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. All Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you chat chimers, all of you ghost listeners. Man, it looks like you guys got the message. We are moving over to YouTube because we had all that trouble with the Facebook situation before.
Man.
So thanks for the people who are already transferring over to the YouTube channel. I will keep the First Sky Omaha Facebook page on until the end of the season, just for you know, the people that are going to come in and don't know that we've made that move yet. We'll keep that on, but we did take it off of Friends of First Sky Omaha to avoid some confusion, and I think we're pretty much done with Twitter.
Yeah, man. We actually have some Twitter news coming up a little later on. The pressure's getting picked up.
Yeah, man. Elon Musk just kicked off Kanye West off of Twitter, so you know Kanye tripping if he can't even get on where Trump's at.
Man.
Michelle Moreno gives us a good morning, everyone. Good morning to you. Good morning. Thank you for joining us over on First Sky Omaha, the Facebook page. Again, just to let people know, we are moving over to the YouTube channel so that we can avoid some of this Facebook trouble.
Yeah.
But for now, thank you for everybody that's coming on in. Appreciate you.
Yeah. More stabilization, less hateration over at YouTube.
Facebook got you starting and stopping, dancing all in the video.
Man,
it's ridiculous. So
yeah. you got my mind going now. Taking the video quality down.
Yeah.
Man. Blocking our comments. Come to death row.
That's right. Come to death row. Yeah, they always we switched. We were used to play stuff from the radio channel on there, but there was always copyright problems. And so we switched to making our own music for this show, and they still want to tag us for copyrights and block the show. If you
Man,
if you go to old shows on Facebook, like part of it'll be partially muted because they're like trying to hit us with copyrights. I'm like, you can't hit me with copyrights for my own music, man. Come on,
they
what are you
tried.
doing?
They tried it. But you can't stop us. Hey.
That's right. Can't stop, won't stop. Yeah.
Uh-uh.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for everybody coming on in. Like I said, we'll have to have a little transition here over to YouTube. So tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. This is where we're at now. And yeah, so we can get get that conversation back going, get as many people in as we can. Whenever we make a switch like this, we always get some people that drop off because of, for whatever reasons, just a little difficult or don't get the message or whatever the deal. So, but we felt like it was worth it, man. We were looking at doing this for season 5 anyway, and kind of got our hand forced to do it a little sooner because of Facebook tripping last show.
Mhm.
And so yeah, so here we are now. We're gonna eventually be exclusively over on YouTube. That is the message so far for what it is that we're doing. Stacey Jenkins is the Good Morning First Sky Omaha family and friends. Good morning to you. Appreciate you joining us. Definitely got a lot to talk about on this Haps Friday. Wanda Lewis says they accuse my daughter of copyright issues all the time and be her own music. That's what I'm
Man.
saying. Like they just be trying to push. They got a little service where you can get music for royalty free music that Facebook has, and I think they'd be trying to do that so they can be like,
Mm.
yeah, come buy our stuff.
Run that check. Run that check. Take that. Take that.
Zuckerberg. Tamika Johnson said that's great. I appreciate you being on YouTube over there, Ms. Johnson. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please tell a friend and share the show too as well if you can do that. If you can share the show on YouTube and link it and all that good stuff. And then of course now we'll be saying like, subscribe, and hit the bell like everybody else does. So
Mhm.
Josh Tay said, "Too bad we can't thumbs up comments on YouTube. Chat chimers just know I love y'all." Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So that's one of the limitations. Can't thumbs up.
I didn't even know y'all was doing that. Like to see that. Like to see that.
See that definitely. And there are some flexibility. There are some things that I did read that we can do on YouTube with the chat. That's a little bit more extensive than the Facebook chat. As a matter of fact, if we get into it, so we'll have to get into that so we can kind of enhance the chat since that's the main place we're going to be at. So we'll find out all the tricks and all that good stuff and relay that information to you as well. Wanda Lewis says YouTube is taking her music down before as well. I want to hear that. All right, we'll see how it works. We'll
Yeah,
see
yeah.
how it
We'll
works.
we'll see. We'll see. I think we'll go along with Pop's advice and a couple other people who mentioned like it might be time to build our own thing. For now we're definitely transitioning over to YouTube, but I think that's a step towards the own thing. And we're having some meetings in the process of updating our online presence, if you will.
Yeah,
I'm
great
excited. I'm
meeting.
excited.
Great meeting about the new website coming, man. I'm excited about that for sure. Season 5, we'll see a new website with some new functionality, and we are building our own platform too. It just is expensive and it takes a long time to make. So, and then also, there's always going to be a place for social media. That's the way you spread the word these days. So,
Word, word.
yeah, so we'll always be here, but we're going to be trying to run the morning shows on our own platform eventually. So,
Also, we are looking to expand as far as kind of diversify our content. So, if y'all know some podcasts that's in the area, some people creating some content that you kind of like or think would flow well with what we're doing here at First Sky, we're always looking to partner and collab, and we teamwork makes the dream work, man.
most deaf, most deaf. Matter of fact, I just saw Terry Sanders over there at the Omaha Star with a podcast on Spotify. Little 3-minute news brief for the day. So I
Man,
put that on Friends of First Sky Omaha. Check her out. Mark Manner says I got a cease and desist from Paisley Park over Prince cover that Rothstein did that I put up. Wanted to frame that. I heard that.
man,
See, Paisley Park don't be playing, man. The family over there, they're looking to capital. They're looking to cash in. So they
man. I heard either Al Green or Marvin Gaye, one of their states are pretty notorious too for being pretty tight, locked down on the music.
Well, Prince was like that anyway. He shut things down in the internet a long time ago. He was like, "Don't be using my likeness on
Man.
your stuff without paying me."
So with that said, man, and this is just a has nothing to do with anything we'll be talking about today. But I gotta ask you, man, because you just reminded me. What do you think about that little Dr. Pepper character? Like that gotta be a Prince impersonation. You never seen the Dr. Pepper commercials?
Uh-uh.
Man, I know y'all know what I'm talking about.
I don't got TV. What is a commercial?
What is this foreign concept? I don't.
I don't know nothing about it. Dr. Pepper. You know about this, Mark? You
Man,
know about this?
man, why haven't they received a cease and desist? Because this has got to stop,
What?
bro. I
I,
know I'm not the only one that sees it.
I don't get it. What are we looking at here?
This is like the character from Dr. Pepper's commercials.
Okay. Is he singing like Prince, talking like? I mean, right now he's
Yes,
just looking
yes,
like a woman. What's
bro.
the
Look how he's dressing. He's dancing and singing and
okay? Oh, he got a lace glove on. Okay.
man, you see a scarf. I mean, he's giving a ooh like it's all there. It's
well, I mean, I don't think he's trying to be Prince, but I mean,
bro.
like,
My question is, so you it's not too close for you. You don't feel like it's a Prince impersonation. I just feel like every time I see it, like Prince would not approve of this. Like,
Prince might think it's funny, bro.
you think so?
I mean, you see what he did when Dave Chappelle did his skit.
Oh, the skit.
Prince
They
came back.
tell, man. I don't know. I feel like this is a major corporation.
Yeah, well, so was Comedy Central, but Prince came back and used Dave Chappelle's "Dressed Up Like Him" on the front of his new record. So like,
Mhm.
he got a sense of humor. Mark Matter says 100% Prince. Okay, so I know nothing about this character. I have to check it out. Tamika Johnson said the Dr. Pepper dude is 100. Man, he fresh said yes, buddy. I agree. Okay, I gotta look. He says that's Justin from first season of American Idol.
What? What?
Whoa. Uh, Rome's reviews. I'm a pepper. She's a pepperoni. All right. Wanda Lewis says my daughter has that wig. Game blouses.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh
Yeah, man. Who knows, man? They might be after him on the back end. Who knows? But
man. And plus, ain't the Dave Chappelle story true?
it is true. It
Yeah,
is true.
yeah. So you know.
Yeah, man. What? Who knows, man? I mean, it seems to me like it's parody. I mean,
It's definitely parody, but okay. I mean, you're not familiar with it, so I just feel like you one of the biggest Prince fans that I know. So I always meant to ask you that and
well,
never really remember.
that's what I'm saying. I'm a Prince fan. I don't know nothing about that fool. I don't know. Anyway,
All right.
7:13 already. If you believe in the concept of time, buddy, I didn't get to ask you today. How you doing? How are you?
Man, I'm all right. I'm all right. Aside from my car issues, man, I might have to buy me a new whip, y'all. But it is what it is. It's just trying to make it work.
With the crew in the
My,
house.
yeah. Got to get move around, man. Mama God's still here though, so we're chilling and enjoying the family time. So yeah. I'm all right. I'm all right. Everything is everything. Taking the good with the bad, rolling with the punches. And it's Friday, so I'll take that. How you doing, man? How's it going?
It's going all right, man. Just hanging in there. A lot of work. Just trying to keep my head above water with the work situation. So I'll be
That
working
part.
into the weekend again and all that.
That part.
But there are some things that's happening this weekend. And also while I'm on that subject, if you guys got stuff going on this weekend too, definitely let us know. Get that stuff together so we can take a look at it a little later on in the show. We'll definitely have an extensive haps and all that good stuff. So he said Dr. Pepper's character's name is Lil Sweet. Okay.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the name. That's the name.
Wow. He's a little one of them littles.
Yeah. Got rid of the bigs and brought in the littles.
What else we gonna talk about today?
Man, we do have some news to dive into. No guests today, but a lot of conversation, a lot of topics, and would love to hear your thoughts, your mind. Let your mind be free, let your voice be heard. Most importantly, but we'll kick off with some mental health conversations. Looking at some things that's happening both locally and around the country. Our neighbors over at Iowa kind of wrapped up in some turmoil or
Hmm.
controversy, if you will, in regards to how they're handling some mental health situation. Some of you might be familiar with that. Also, news coming out of New York City about a controversial bill or I'm not sure if this is an ordinance or exactly what legal term it falls under, but there was an announcement that the city of New York will be forcibly hospitalizing mentally ill homeless people. I think one of the chat chimers dropped this on us. Would definitely love to hear your thoughts on this and just have a conversation about mental health as we continue. And then, of course, education, another big conversation that we've been having. Ill and Pillen hitting the ground running, man. Not even officially in his seat and already making moves as the new governor of Nebraska. He recently named a committee that will help him advise how to revamp the school's financial aid situation. Again, how are schools around the state funded? And we'll definitely follow the bag on that one. And of course, where is he trying to change? Where is he wanting this thing to go? So yeah, we'd definitely love to dive into that conversation. And looking at some Biden related news, the Supreme Court will hear challenge to Biden's student debt relief program. Speaking of financial aid and funding of schools, again, people still waiting to see if their application will be processed and if that debt will be wiped at least partially for now. So again, a lot of that is hanging in the balance of these court cases. So we'll get an update. Of course, remember Nebraska is one of the states challenging this situation. So yeah, hopefully we lose in court. We'll see. We'll see. Now, also, speaking of losing in court, the attempts to prevent railroad strike seems to may have worked. We'll look into exactly what the Senate recently did again to answer Biden's call to prevent a strike in a very long winter, if you will. And then, of course, there's some things jumping into some tech news. Shout out, I don't know if you caught on Google, man. It was a very, very dope doodle. They always do these doodles to celebrate different holidays, birthdays, events. And they just gave shout out to a pioneer in the video game culture, my man, Mr. Lawson. Jerry Lawson. We'll talk a little bit about that. And then, of course, give an update on the Twitter situation with a little tech news. So, again, if there's anything on your hearts or your minds that we're not discussing, feel free to drop that into the chat. And again, we are making our transition into YouTube. So come on in, grab a seat. First Sky Omaha in the morning, Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you. Let's go.
Hey. What up, what up, what up? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thanks for joining us. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you chat chimers, all of you ghost listeners. Thanks for joining us. Again, we are moved over to YouTube. We still are on First Sky Omaha, the main page for a little while longer to the end of the season, which will be, I believe, November 16th. And then after that, we will be exclusively on YouTube. So definitely check us out. Go over to the YouTube channel and look for First Sky Omaha. And we'll have some discussion and things going on over there. So we really appreciate everybody that's following us over there and making that move. Please tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. And yeah, like I said, until the end of the season, we'll keep it on the First Sky Omaha page, but we'll also be broadcasting live on YouTube. And that's where we're going to be exclusively at for season 5. So again, thanks for joining us on this Friday of the 2nd of December. This is rent week as far as I'm concerned. So that's all the first of the month means to me these days is got to pay the rent. So anyway, but it is a Friday, so happy Friday to everybody. If you got plans for this weekend, get your Haps together. Let us know what's going on. We'll talk about Haps a little bit later on in the show with an extensive Haps segment. And yeah, then we got lots of other things to talk about as well. But let us know what's going on. I heard it's going to get up to about 54 degrees today. So we got another one of those decent days before things start taking a turn for the worst. Yeah, enjoy the day, enjoy the weather if you can. Rome's review says it's smart. If you're smart enough to diagnose your illness, then you're smart enough to prescribe your remedy. Okay,
Okay.
that's what's up. Anthony Hart gives us a good morning, folks. Appreciate that. Rome's review says make sure to hit the like button on your way in or out on your way I or in. I can't say what he's trying to say. In or out.
In or on your
In
way
or
out.
out. Yep, yep. Amy Huffles gives us a good morning, fam. Good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. Rome's review says 9 viewers and 1 like doesn't add up. Okay. Not sure what's going on, but thanks for the reports over there from YouTube. You always do a good job of letting us know what's going on, how many people that we got riding on YouTube. And like I said, the more we get into it, the more we can open up some features and things to enhance the chat so that we can keep the conversation going. We'll just tell a friend that we're going to be transitioning over there here for season 5. And yeah, let's make it happen. Miss Erica Felt gives us a good morning. Miss Erica Felt, you were talking about the guy on the Google thing yesterday too. What was his name again? The video game
Jerry Lawson.
Jerry Lawson. Yeah, I saw a couple people that chimed up, and I don't know if you got your time zapped by sitting there playing that video game for a while, but I did. Buddy did too.
Like, oh man, you can edit and create your own path, and
Yeah.
oh, that's dope.
It definitely took me back to the days when we were first learning programming, when gaming was when they were first putting those games together, and man, all that Mario Brothers and all that good stuff. I was like, man,
Man.
all those sounds bring back memories, all that stuff. So really interesting to learn about what that cat. She says, "Yep, I wish I had found it earlier and shared with the kids. It was cool. I know, me too, me too.
Man.
I was mad that I get to share it with little man. He would have loved that.
I think you can still access it. I shared the link on my Facebook page. I'll see if I can share it in the friends of page or
Okay,
yeah. I'm pretty sure you can still access it like a separate website widget. But yeah, dope.
that's
So
what's
yeah,
up.
I'll try to see if I can share that out to a few folk.
Love it, love it, love it." Beth Davis Wilson gives us a morning all. Good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. Rose Review says, "I got more game than Milton Bradley."
Okay.
That's what's up. Yeah, if you can find that man, let me know. I definitely want to show little man that that's something that he would love to do. He'd be all off into the Minecraft and all that good stuff. So it'd be interesting to show black man building some video games to him.
Man.
Mama God is on this morning. Says, "Good morning, First Guy fan. You upstairs, Mama God, chilling." Yeah. I use Facebook because I don't know how to make comments on YouTube. Post instructions on friends of First Guy just in case others don't know how, like me. Okay, yeah, we certainly will.
Okay.
Just I will hang with you, First Sky fam, as long as I can this morning. Hanging with my grandkids right now. That's what's up. Grands right now. Many interruptions. Yeah, yeah, I understand. I understand. I appreciate you hanging up there with the kids this morning, and I'm glad to see that you're able to be out there chilling with the grandbabies and all that good stuff. I envy you right now. I'm ready to get out of town myself. Need a little trip, little break. Sounds good right about now.
I need a vacation.
Yeah, bro, if you only knew.
And right near the beach.
Here you go. You see, you found the code. Is this was that?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
That's what's up, man. Okay, let's see. All right, so we there it is. So Buddy found the code. Oh, wait a minute, is that the right one?
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay, the other one is the pin pop. Got it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Don't share that.
yeah, man. So if you want to go back and check that Google Doodle out from yesterday, there's the link. Show your kids, it might be cool. Check it out for sure. Rome's review says YouTube limits the amount of characters letters to 200. Well, that's good.
Okay. Yeah.
Stop y'all, stop y'all from diatribing all the time around here.
Now you gotta go to like one of the actual like friends of or messages
There you
if you
go.
really got all that to say. Or just call in. Just call in. We'll work on opening up some lines for you or something.
That's right, man. Paul B's only gonna read 199 words.
Nope, too many characters. Nope.
Oh man, thanks for joining us again. Let's get this show on the road. 7:24 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, yeah, I heard that, Amy Huffles.
Yeah.
Buddy, what's on the agenda this morning?
Man, well, we'll kick off with some mental health news. And I'll start with some good news. We'll start with the good and then kind of juxtapose that and get to, I guess,
It's bad in
the
another.
bad. Yeah. But man, shout out to the local heroes, Sister Tamika Meese. If you remember, we've had her on here a few times to discuss the work that she is doing with her community foundation. And this latest article is giving her flowers and for her work in the area of mental health. Again, Meese is the founder and executive director of North Omaha Community Partnership, which launched in 2019, and they've of course expanded their outreach throughout the city. And now they're taking on the latest challenge of mental health. She said, "We don't limit ourselves to just North Omaha. We do go where the need is, and it just seemed like the need right now is in North Omaha." And they are approaching mental health through the Bridge the Gap program, which will create a place of, or while creating a place of their own in the very community that they serve. Meese went on to say that that's where we come in. We offer the therapy services for individuals, groups, or families within 24 to 48 hours. Sister Meese is doing this actually in partnership with Brother Wells. So definitely some heads from the community coming together to do some good. Wells said Bridge the Gap gives clients, gives the community really a new tool to use when people need help. He says the main issue with mental health is not necessarily access, but affordability. He says the issue I was running into with mental health, I had nowhere to take them where they could afford the services. And again, those of you familiar with Brother Wells and the work that he's doing in the Bryant Center, he says that he works directly with those kids through the Bryant Center, but his outreach does not stop there. It actually goes all the way up to the parents, which is rhetoric that we've been hearing recently, as far as if you want to help children, really, you have to look at it from a holistic point of view, have to help not just the students, but the family at large to kind of remedy some of the home ailments, if you will, that are, causing some of the disruption in the child's focus, learning, what have you.
Mm.
But one of the main features of this program, of course, is again helping pay for this stuff. Sister Meese, or excuse me, Leonte Evans, who works with Charles Drew, says there are financial barriers, there are insurance barriers, there's all kind of things that keep people from actually pursuing it. So again, she says shifting the focus from money to actually connecting people with a mental health therapist wherever they need it, whether it's at Charles Drew, at home, or even through a relationship corner with Evans. She says, I'm dealing with people grieving physical loss of and actual death. But then you're grieving relationships, you're grieving the life you thought you're going to have. There's so much loss that people are grieving and they don't realize it's grief. And apparently, about 90% of her caseload is 16 to 20-year-olds ready to change and break generational trauma. Again, we don't talk about it a lot here on the show, but we know that, again, there's a lot of violence in the community. More news about some teenagers who recently, got wrapped up in some violence on both ends. So mental health definitely an issue. Addressing young people in the community definitely an issue. Of course, young people, especially coming from lower income families, can't always afford or even accept mentally. It's still very very taboo in our community. So having as many barriers removed as possible is a step in the right direction. So big shout out to Sister Meese. Shout out to Brother Wells and apparently Miss Tyne Evans.
There you go. Another thing that's important is what Amy Huffless is saying in the chat. The thing is, the timing is also key. Evaluations sometimes take way too long before you can help someone.
Hmm.
And I also want to add in there too, like we talk about this all the time too, and it's not just about helping that mentally ill person, but helping the family be able to
Yeah.
support that person too. It's it's really important in order for the whole family to get some support. And so yeah, that's that's I'm really glad that there's grassroots organizations like this that are really trying to do something and step in there. And I've talked to the Brother Wells, and we've talked to Sister me we've talked to these people already, and we already know that they are thinking in those terms. It's not just
Mhm.
about helping the individual, but helping the family support that individual and so on. So yeah, man, lots to consider here. And I'm glad you kind of tied it into what's going on in the neighborhoods right now. I'm prayers to the family that lost a young girl, and
Man,
and then the four young men that just got arrested. That's 5 lives
right.
lost. You know what I
Right.
mean? So Yeah, it's a rough situation, and anything that we can do to help. I mean, there's more to it, but also, bringing in understanding about how the family needs to be, some support, and in supporting their child. Even, I mean, a lot to it, man. They say it takes a village, and a lot of that is really, really real. And not just a village, but a village that's going to pay attention to all the needs, economic needs, mental needs, all kinds of support. So it's incredible how much how much we're really lacking around here. Miss Erica Felt in the chat says, I think it's very important that parents have affordable access to therapy when they experience the death of either children or even their aged parents, because the depression can affect their children very badly, sometimes leading to abuse or neglect of their children. Wow. Yeah, they need to be reached out to. Yeah, so, that family, man, what I'm saying, like, how it affects the family. They have
Mhm.
stuff like, I think it's called Al-Anon, or no, not Al-Anon. What's the name of that organization that supports families that, supports spouses and children of alcoholics? Like, you got your AAs, you got you have your, programs for people who are trying to get over drug and alcohol addiction, but they also have other uh,
Mm,
groups for the families that gotta deal with that person, you know?
okay.
Yeah, Al-Anon, that's what I was thinking, yeah. I
Mm,
was Yeah, so, it's never really addressed all the way, but it really takes more than just the supporting that one person. I mean, the support that one person idea is the reason why we got so many places popping up with all these beds, because they think that's the only thing.
man.
We'll grab that person and put them in an institution, and fix that one person, as if this is not a community, a family thing, and a community thing, and like everybody needs support here. So,
Man, actually, I like to use that to transition into the next article because I wanted to start with the positive. This is how it's done. This is what it looks like when a community and a village is really taking care of each other. But right next door in Iowa is a different situation. For those of you who may be familiar with the Glenwood Resource Center, news is in recent news, the U.S. Justice Department, excuse me, announced just Thursday that it has filed a complaint and proposed a settlement with the state of Iowa. This surrounds the state-run facility. So again, this is something that is state-run, Glenwood Resource Center, which is located in Southwest Iowa, that serves people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. The DOJ says the settlement will resolve allegations that conditions at the facility violated the Constitution. And this
mm,
actually goes back to December of 2021. The U.S. Department of Justice issued a condemnation of the way the facility was run and said the state must find ways to care for people in community settings, not in institutions. So again, this is from the Department of Justice, who's going along with our sentiment that more beds might not be the way to address this situation.
wow.
But it was bad, man. It was bad in this Glenwood Resource Center. Um, According to the article, after federal investigation, a report found a number of problems at the facility, including sexual arousal experiments performed on residents. The settlement still needs to be approved by the courts, but if approved, it would ban uncontrolled and unsupervised experiments, will require better staffing, training, and oversight for clinical care, and limit the use of restraints and seclusion. But again, this is all for naught because the facility is actually set to close in 2024. So that's better news for me. But yeah, man, it's just a whole crazy situation. And I just heard about it in my research, for this show. But again, this has been going on apparently in Iowa for quite some time.
Man,
Yeah, man.
okay. That's real crazy. Uh,
That's a
man.
lot to pull out. So there's a lot to pull out of that one, man. But again, for me, the reason I wanted to juxtapose these stories, and we got another one. Shout out to, I believe, Marianne Williams, for dropping this about how New York City is handling their mentally ill. But again, just kind of expanding out from Omaha and keeping it within the region. Our neighbors right there, Iowa, like you see, these state-run facilities, I don't know. Is that the best way? Again, we have several mental health facilities, more beds popping up in the Omaha area. There's a teenage mental health facility off of 52nd. There's another one that's going to be popping up off Dodge. I think there's another one that's gonna be popping up off center. So yeah. Thoughts?
Yeah. Um, I'm kind of still tripping off of this Iowa situation here. That's incredible. I'll jump into the chat. Miss Erica Felt is talking about not everyone drinks. When we were talking about support for people, she said mothers need support when they experience loss. I was a terrible parent with no support when my mother fought ovarian cancer and died. Okay,
Mm.
wow. I appreciate your testimony there. Whew. Wanda Lewis says Tyne Evans on Facebook. I'm not sure what if I missed that reference there. Let me know. Uh,
Yeah. Ty Evans is one of the ones that's helping in North Omaha with mental health.
oh, okay.
She's yeah, the relationship corner is a resource.
There you go. Ron's review says I mentioned to my wife if I ever get ill and can't talk or move, I can communicate with winks or squeezing in case I'm being harmed.
Mm,
Yeah, you might as well. So something to think about before before it happens for sure.
yeah,
We got a good morning from Carolyn Jack. She says, "I care. Good morning from the Facebook farewell tour." Appreciate that. Yeah, yeah, we're definitely bailing on that pretty soon here. So tell a friend, tell a friend. We're going to be over on YouTube exclusively here coming up. Just want to remind people about that. Rose Reviews also says aromatherapy is a real thing. A few sniffs of peppermint, sage, etc., will calm or excite you.
man,
Yeah, I was. That's what I was thinking. As a matter of fact, there when I was trying to relay that information, that that thought that there's so many pieces here. There's helping the person, there's helping the family, there's putting people in certain environments in order to be better. There's fixing their economic problems that will make things better. It's never just a bed. It's never just one solution. It's like it's all the things that you need to do in order to be okay. We can think about it in personal terms. Sometimes we come home, if the house is a wreck, then our head is a wreck. If things aren't pleasant where we're at, then it can set our mood off. I mean, and that's people who are are not having specific issues and problems, and people that have support. So there's a lot to it. I'm thinking. Amy Huffler says, "Y'all, we got to be careful how we talk about mental health facilities. There's a stigma anyway, and there are facilities and systems that do good work who have beds." Okay, yeah, I'll take that for sure. Yeah,
appreciate
yeah, you're right. There are facilities out there that are doing some good work, and sometimes those beds are needed and so on. I guess we got a little thing about it because of how because this is such a prison state. How many prisons is being put here? How many facilities are there all the time? And it doesn't seem. And then it's only it's like grassroots individuals and people that we know, like Brother Wells, that are trying to work on systems and programs and stuff like that. And there's some big programs and stuff out there, but it just seems like that's where they go all the time. They go to facilities first to help, and I think that if they can think about how the family needs support, especially, that would really help. So that's the I'm kind. You're absolutely right. That there's a lot of people out there doing a lot of good work for sure. But as we see, especially in our neighborhoods, when real wild stuff is going down, there needs to be more being done, better ideas, more ideas.
Yeah, and also like I do appreciate that, and do want to say like we want to have these conversations, but we do want to be responsible in having these conversations, and we do want to be respectful in having these conversations. So I appreciate that comment. Um, but what I will say is, we're making sure that that is the case. We're making sure, that's my aim, is to make sure that there are facilities that are just more than beds. That's the issue of them having a bed is not really the issue. It's more so let's put a bed in the room. You know what I mean? To really kind of collect a check, not really kind of, how would I put it? What is the saying? Pound a cure, or like it's more money in the treatment than it is in cure.
Yeah.
That's essentially.
And also when I'm talking about beds, I'm talking about those facilities that are kind of locking our kids down, and not some of the ones that are voluntary. Like Amy Huffley says, we have a 16 bed inpatient treatment program for Native folks folks needing substance abuse treatment. It's voluntary. That's different. that's a different kind of bad situation. They can come in and get the help when they're ready to get the help. They can leave when they want to leave.
Man.
I'm kind of more talking about the situations that they got going on where that's the solution. They'll take you out of your home, bring you in, kind of like lockdown situations, the juvenile justice situation, and so on. So
Man.
yeah, man. Rome's
Actually,
reviews. Go ahead.
no, go ahead, go to the chat, but I don't want to leave from that point because that's a perfect transition into this next story.
Got it. He said, Rome's review says, I was depressed for a short period long ago. All I would do is sleep and eat. If things ever get that way for me again, I'm looking for those for me to telltale signs, exercise and activities. Yeah, I'm definitely going through a little bit of fighting depression myself right now. Definitely finding it hard to find the motivation to do the things that I need to do, and even the things that I want to do,
Mm,
and can really haven't been able to do it because I've been so busy, but can absolutely lay in bed, sleep all day long type of thing.
mm,
So it's there's, like I said, man, we all struggling, we all fighting it, and it's a good thing that I got some support systems and some people that can help. It's always good to have more, but because everybody's going through their own thing too.
right.
But yeah, man, so support systems. It's almost like that's all we do every day is try to build support systems and safety around us with family, friends, money, all the things that we need to try to survive. So it's hard to imagine when people don't have those resources, what's going on with them. Also, Miss Erica Felt says some people really do need institutional help. When they closed the mental health hospitals in the 80s, is when the homeless population exploded with people who need in-depth daily care. I just really think there needs to be transparency. It used to be residents were denied access to their family or friends, even by phone or mail.
Man.
So that's interesting, especially thinking about this New York story that you about to talk about, because that opens up that can of worms, man. They bring them back in, and there's no transparency here. Then it might be a bad idea, but we could check it. Definitely check it out.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, speaking of that, I just want to go back to a comment Miss Erica Phelps said earlier. She says, disgusting and scary that abuse can happen anywhere when there aren't transparent policies shared with the public. This is what scares me about the juvenile detention center. So again, that goes back to that's really our point about calling out these beds and calling out these centers. Like, okay, what are the real intentions? Who's behind it? Is this really going to help? And if it is, we're here for it. But kind of like the New York situation, it's very questionable. If you haven't heard, this being reported by the Washington Post, New York City has announced that they will remove more mentally ill people from its streets and subway system. Mayor Eric Adams announced Tuesday, directing the authorities to commit people involuntarily, again, involuntarily, if they are thought to be a harm to themselves, not just to others. The directive clarifies a gray area where policy, law, and accountability have not been clear. Adams said in a public address, under the directive, outreach workers and police officers are encouraged to intervene with someone who is thought to be so mentally ill that it prevents them from, quote unquote, meeting their basic human needs, causing them to be a danger to themselves. Measures will be taken to commit people involuntarily, even if they are not an imminent threat to the public. He said, adding that a common misunderstanding persists that such action could only be taken if the person is violent, suicidal, or presents an imminent risk to the public. He says we need to change that culture and clarify our expectations. No more walking by or looking away. Which, I mean, I guess in itself sounds cool, but again, the announcement, framed by Adams as a focus on action, care, and compassion, faced immediate criticism over whether it was practical, appropriate, or even legally permissible. Adams is, quote unquote, playing fast and loose with the legal rights of New Yorkers, and it is not dedicating the resources necessary to address the mental health crisis that affects our community. And that's according to Donna Lieberman, who's the executive director of the New York Civil Liberties Union, she said in a statement. So again, kind of this stemmed from a conversation in Friends of Friends of First Sky, and yeah, slippery slope, man. A very, very slippery slope. Again, to permit people involuntarily who are deemed threat to themselves, and apparently not even that. My question is, what is the bar? Again, As Mayor Adams says, it's a common misunderstanding that such action could only be taken if the person is violent, suicidal, or persists in imminent risk to the public. So, if that is not the case, what causation do you have to lock them up?
Well, I think a lot of people feel like how Whitney Richardson in the chat is saying. She's saying New York City doesn't actually care about mental health. They want to clear the streets and homeless population.
Mm.
And you can't miss that language in there too. You know, when they start talking about the places that they gather, the subway systems, and so on and so forth, that's definitely there. New name I haven't seen. Stephanie Smith in the chat says I had to go create an account on YouTube. Oh, Stacey Jean. Okay, hey, appreciate you creating an account on you in YouTube for just for us. Really appreciate that.
Hey,
Just to remind people again, we are making a transition over to YouTube. Like Carolyn Jack said, this is the Facebook farewell tour going on here. We'll stay on First Sky Omaha, the Facebook page, all the way until what is it, December the
16.
16th, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll come back for season 5 in January 16th. Will be strictly on YouTube. So yeah, go ahead and get your account. Come on over. Appreciate that. I have to get used to the name Stephanie Smith now.
Ah,
But I appreciate it. I also appreciate everybody in the chat that is going in on the aromatherapy
man,
that's what's up, man. I'm glad to see that y'all know about diffusers and essential oils and all that good stuff because it really makes a difference.
it
And
does.
yeah, it's really interesting that everybody's talking about that.
Yeah, you think
So,
about you seen those experiments where they like speak loving words to plants and see how it affects how they grow. That's the real thing. The environment, the vibrations definitely change. I actually think about some of the work that y'all were doing, shout out to the whole crew over at I'm drawing a blank on the name. But the music, y'all are doing music therapy for the elderly. Um
you talking about Hi-Fi House?
Yes, yes.
Oh
For some reason, I was thinking Yin for contemporary arts, but I know that's not it. Yes, the Hi-Fi House. Shout out to John Oshner. Shout out to everybody at the Hi-Fi House.
yeah, Kate the Soul.
Yeah, yeah, Kate the Soul, definitely. But yeah. Can you speak to that a little bit? I remember you kind of talking about some of the elderly coming in doing music therapy and helping with Alzheimer's and things like that.
It was the big program that they were running. What one week they would have the elderly come in from some of the old folks' homes that were around, come in and do music therapy at the Hi-Fi House. So they can come in the space, put some records on, listen to that, talk, so on. And sometimes they would take record players and records over to those homes for the people that couldn't come out and do that too. And everybody, it's kind of a anecdotal given thing when you think about it. Like you play music from the era of somebody who is having some, an older individual that wants to kind of think back and reminisce or feel something again like they used to. Music is kind of one of the first avenues to that. So, you can play a track and it'll take you right back to where you was at when you were into it.
Man,
And there's been a lot of cases where a lot of older folks weren't very social or active at all. As soon as you turn some of their music on, they up dancing, singing, and everything else. So that's real. Those vibrations are real too. Just like all of it is that particular space, also just the spatial nature of that spot also brought some therapy.
hmm
They often use diffusers and essential oils in that space in order
man,
to cause some of that calm, and then of course you got the vibration of the music. So there's a lot. We have to think about that all the time, just for our own sanity, our own peace in our own homes. And if a lot of people are not living like that, man. Not a lot of people are having a hard time. There's just animosity. There's strife. There's everything going on in their households all the time. Makes them want to leave and go out into the streets. I mean, there's a lot, and like I said, it can't just be solutions for those individuals that are troubled. It's got to be the family that are supporting it. Those individuals need help. There's just a lot to it, and if we can just get in the business of taking care of each other, then we should be all right.
man.
You know what I'm saying? Like if that's the business, then all this stuff will just come like it's supposed to come. So with that said, Kimmer Snipes gives us a good morning. Thanks for joining us over there on YouTube. Carolyn
Hey,
Jackson, season 5. Say it again. So proud. Thank you very much. Like I'm proud too, and I really appreciate the fact that you guys are here with us and you guys are going to come with us over to YouTube too. Rome's review says some people want to be homeless and don't buy into America. Leave those people alone, except to give food and ask if they need anything medically. Uh, my
Yeah.
experience is that there ain't a whole lot of people that want to be homeless. Most people who are homeless are not homeless by choice. But you know, it just just getting into the business of taking care of each other will solve some of that. You'll know who wants help, who needs help, and all that. You know, my mom talked to her, Kimber Snipes. See if I'm missing something from that earlier. Wanda Lewis says oh, okay, you guys are talking to each other. That woman, I don't know who that woman is on YouTube. This is gonna be interesting to find out to see these new names. She says, I can't like comments on YouTube. This is Miss E. That woman.
Okay, okay. Let me
Yeah.
see.
What
I
was
think Sister Sykes was saying her mom talks to her plants. Yeah, her plants.
Oh, okay, okay. I don't know if I believe all that talking to the plants stuff. I can tell you that talking to yourself will give you some really great vibrations. So if you want to go ahead and act like you're talking to the plants, then you know, then everybody benefits, I suppose. And if it does work, even better. Uh, that's a good question. That's a good question, Brooke. I'm not sure. He didn't give me a call today saying Pops didn't say he was doing anything, so I'm not really sure what's up. He might be ghost listening on YouTube right now, trying to figure it out too.
Okay.
So we're all trying to figure out how to use YouTube. I do think that there's ability for you to like comments, but we got to open something up or something. We got to figure it out. We'll figure it out as we go, and the more information we come with to enhance the chat, we'll definitely let you guys know, and we'll go on this journey, this tech journey together, like we usually do. So appreciate that,
It's a learning curve.
most def. Wanda Lewis says, should get a diffuser. Yeah, let's everybody get diffusers and definitely dive into that piece. Kimber Snipe says, my mom said it's okay to talk to yourself as long as you don't answer back.
All right now.
You got to answer back. Yeah.
Talk back. Talk to me nice.
So one of my favorite things to say was when people be like, well, so what did you say? Oh, nothing. I'm talking to myself. I said, well, don't let me interrupt because
Yeah, yeah.
y'all need to work that out. That woman says the majority of homeless in America are under 18, and a large number of those are under 10 years old. Man,
Mm.
homeless families can be prevented with community and government help. That's what I'm saying. Families, man,
Right.
families. Carolyn Jack says we are not the same people across different social media sites. I see that.
I guess that's true. Yeah, I guess that's true. Got mom in them on Facebook.
So I'm on Paul B everywhere. I don't know what y'all talking about. That woman said, "This is an old profile. I need to create a new one. It won't let me change my name. What?
Mm.
YouTube won't let you
Okay.
change your name?
Okay. Yeah, we got some learning to do about this YouTube situation, but
Well, not
it's
that one.
happening. It's happening.
Appreciate you being here. It's 7:53 right now already. If you believe in the concept of time, let's take a quick break, and we'll come back and jump into some more stories. Again, this is Haps Friday, so get your haps together. Let us know what you got going on coming up this Friday. Definitely would like to hear about that. And we'll take a quick break, come right back, and jump into some more of this conversation. So stay tuned. First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you Chad chimers, all of you YouTubers, ghost listeners, it's going down. Stay tuned. back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you chat chimers, appreciate you guys on YouTube following us over there. We will be on YouTube for season 5 exclusively. We're going to stay on Facebook, the First Sky Omaha Facebook page, along with YouTube until the end of the season, which is December 16th. And then we'll take a break, and then we'll come back January 16th and be exclusively on YouTube. So you guys go ahead and get your new identities together and all that good stuff. So we can continue the conversation. We'll figure out how to be able to help you share the show and the comment, and we'll unlock all the things that you can that you guys want to do on the comment. I see that you guys like to like each other's comments and all that good stuff. So
Man,
we'll try to figure it out if that's possible and go on this tech journey together. But for everybody that's come over now, I really appreciate you doing that. And let people know. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Um, it will be better if we can all gather in one space anyway. We were moving towards this direction. And then Facebook started tripping on us last couple shows, and we were just like, okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and start making that move now. So, and by the way, those of you that are on Facebook, if you're having trouble, let us know over there too, because they require me to fire it back up to restart it if it fails, like it's been doing. So, yeah, appreciate that. Brooke says I'm here on YouTube now. Appreciate
hey,
that very much. Rome's Reviews appoint someone as a moderator to help with comments and flow or minute marks for quick video scrubbing to particular subjects, guests, all in the works, brother. All in the
the
plan.
mayor. The mayor. I mean, you volunteered.
Yeah, you volunteer. That's what's up, man.
The
That
mayor.
we do got to worry about trolls on YouTube a little bit more than other places. So yeah, I hope that we can stay clear of those until we do get some moderation and
Yeah.
some help in here happening. But that's all in the works, man. We got plans to enhance what we got going on here so we can keep the conversation flowing, keep the conversation respectful, and get to the parts where we have some actions that we can think of together to take on some of these subjects that are of relevance to us. So appreciate that very much. Wanda Lewis says, I share from YouTube every day to those who don't have Facebook. Thank you very much.
Man,
Get that very much.
that's what I'm
Welcome
talking about.
back.
Tell a friend, tell a friend.
Tell a
Come on
friend.
through.
Hey man, it's almost 8 o'clock. If you believe in the concept of time, a whole nother hour of First Sky Omaha coming at you with some extensive haps a little later on. So get your haps together, most deaf. In meantime, between time, we still got some more things to talk about that we think is pretty interesting. And first of all, we haven't said too much about what's going on with Kanye, and that's all on purpose. We
Yeah.
got a whole lot of things to say about these things, but you know, it's starting to be one of these things that's in the conversation so heavy because how influential he is. A lot of people were jumping ship, bailing on him, and he's actually doing stuff that's kind of harming the culture a lot, especially this latest stuff that he's doing. Talking about the Nazis and all that. Like, it's
Yeah.
hard to defend what he's been talking about here lately with the shenanigans that's going on with him now, and it's unfortunate. I find myself now seeing him come on and being like, yeah, let me go find something else to look at. Which is too bad. It's it's too bad. When I that's my first inclination when it is that my intuition says I don't even want to hear this fool. I don't even want to hear what he's saying right now. Like my
Mm,
intuition is to back away and go out the door and move away. I realize I'm doing that even before I realize why most of the time. And so this last couple of days I've been thinking about why I've been moving away. And it's just because man, I ain't got time for the shenanigans in the it's all to me it's all in the way. Some of the things that you can say might be right. Find a better way to say them. Find a better way to communicate to others. I don't mind a person being a free thinker and thinking what they think. I mind how it is that they communicate it to other people. The
mm.
way, the how, the style, you know what I'm saying? Because it can come across you can live a life of just saying things, just saying provocative things all the time, like just for provocative sake and to shock people and to hurt people and to shake people up into making them think what you want them to think and all this ridiculousness. Like, to me that's what it's all about. And then of course we got to consider like the things he's saying, which is ridiculous. A lot of it, what he's talking about is ridiculous. A lot of it is unnecessary. And
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
bad. Uh-huh.
I haven't been paying attention. Definitely with the Hitler situation. Like I
Right,
seen kind of the comments, and it was like, I'm not gonna click on that.
right.
Nah.
That's what I'm saying, man. Your intuition starts pushing you away a little bit even before you even know why.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Like, I don't even wanna hear that all the way. I don't even wanna hear the
yeah,
rest of that sentence, you know what I mean?
yeah. It's not like, oh, what is he saying now? What is it? What point is he making
Yeah,
now? And it's not even like yeah, it's not even like I like completely disagree or it's like, oh, what he's saying is I don't even really know what he's saying. Like,
that's
you know what I'm
that's what
saying? Like,
happened. I could say whether I not I agreed or disagreed with some of the things he was talking about. I still can because
mhm, mhm.
he's not just saying one thing, he's saying a bunch of stuff.
Right, right.
And some of it I agree with and some of it I disagree with. But then there's some things that he's going into now that I can't even listen to all the way to agree with or disagree with. Like you're saying, like I don't even know what he's talking about halfway now. I'm reading the headlines now, bro. Oh, he didn't said he liked Hitler. Okay, well, I don't need to even find out what the context of that. I don't even, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
need,
yeah. Even if it's like a misquote or a misrepresentation of what he actually said, it's like
right. Amy Hufford says he needs help.
mm,
Agreed. Brooks says watching someone self-destruct. Whitney Richardson says, I've been done with him since he supported Trump and lied about George Floyd's murder and then harassed Floyd's mother on social media.
mm,
He came back and apologized for some of that. But yeah,
yeah,
that was kind
mm.
of like the demise of how much we were going to deal with this dude, you know. Although I will say this in conversation around town about this dude, I'm talking to a lot more black folks that I had no idea would be Trump voters, and they're revealing to me that they voted for Trump.
Didn't we have this conversation the other day off air?
That's what I'm saying, bro. I am like I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden something has opened up in the conversation on the street where people are telling me they're so tired, they're sick of Biden right now, and if Trump runs again, they're gonna vote for him again, and they did last time, and they feel very, you know, before it was like black folks I was talking to was like hiding if they voted for Trump, they wouldn't say it. You know, now it's like,
They're proud.
yeah, I'm kind of taken aback a little bit, like, and one of the reasons why I'm taken aback is because some of the reasons why they're saying they do it makes sense. Okay, if you're a Christian, you believe this and you believe that, so on and so forth. Then who else is saying that? You know, like
Man, I mean, I've heard some people, some conversations even down here about some people who, some brothers and sisters who have voiced not necessarily outright supportive like they're Trumpsters, but they're like, yeah, I mean, he's like Dave Chappelle said in the stand-up, like Trump is one of the politicians or one of the elites, if you will, that came out of the house, and he's just saying it out front. Like he's just saying it, like, yeah, we're all corrupt. You corrupt too. Don't try to act like you're not.
uh, I'm trying to
Yeah.
say, bro.
And,
So
and,
I'm
and
go ahead.
well, in regards to the Kanye situation, I know we're kind of like, I'm pushing, I'm, falling back. I don't really want to talk about it, but I think 2024, we're going to have no choice. I think
Yeah,
a Kanye
definitely.
presidential run is a real thing.
Yeah. Well, the last thing that I even had anything to do with the Kanye situation was when he went and talked to Trump and asked Trump to be his running mate, and Trump was like, "You fool, you gonna lose. Who do you think you are?" He went off and he came back talking about it. He came back like, "Yeah, Trump is tripping. I'm gonna run now," and I'm like, "Okay, well, here you go. This is like he used to start his conversations like free man speaking, free man thinking." Yeah, think freely, bro, all you want to, but figure out how you gonna present it, figure out how you gonna relate to folks.
Hmm.
You just spewing your mess. Gwen Easter gives us a good morning. Wanda Lewis says, Gwen Easter, that was a very humanitarian of you Gwen, to help that homeless guy the other day. I want to hear that story, Miss Easter.
Hmm.
What happened there? Also, that woman said I love saying that woman, so you can keep that name if you want to. He posed and was friendly with the guy Trump placed last week who was at the storming of the Capitol and is known for Holocaust denier. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, I saw that part. I saw that part, and people, even Republicans, are mad at Trump for associating with that cat. and Kanye was right in the mix with that mess. Whitney Richards said, "Fix it, Jesus." Okay. Amy Huffler says
Take the
he has
wheel.
he got all sorts of access, and but refuses medication.
Mm.
I halfway understand some of that because some of these medications stop you from, anyway, we like I said, we can get into all of it. That woman Trump invited the guy to sing at Mar-a-Lago. Is that right?
Mm.
Amy Hepburn says, "I cannot understand and wrap head around that. I find that too in the Latino community drinking that Trump water." That's what I'm saying.
All
There's a lot
right.
of Latinos that voted for Trump, bro, and a lot of black folks that voted for Trump. A lot of them. And I'm talking about black folks. There's always going to be the Herschel Walkers and stuff that we can talk about that did, but I'm talking about black folks that I did not expect voted for Trump.
That's down.
That's like, yeah, and I'll do it again. Stephanie Smith in the chat says they appreciate that Trump is an honest liar. Whatever, people. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like some of these reasons that they're giving, they're just like sick of politicians. So bring a businessman in here. Let's see if we can make some money with this country. Let's see if we can do something. Like all kinds of backfired. I feel like, and I don't understand what people or how people. But you mad at Biden? I don't. I'm not a big Biden fan either. But Biden has been doing a lot for us lately,
Man,
economically.
we'll get into it a little later on, but yeah, I don't. What's the beef with Biden?
Marianne Williams says Trump is no Christian and Hitler killed African Germans too. He killed anyone who wasn't lily white and able bodied. Bro, my family grew up. I grew up Jehovah's Witness, and Jehovah's Witnesses were persecuted by Hitler,
Man,
and had their own group that was specially persecuted by him. Like he persecuted everybody. He killed and persecuted everybody. So, but somebody made a good point about this I saw yesterday on social media. Um, Hitler was a evil killer. He wasn't the most evil killer, but they paint him to be the most evil killer because he was killing white folks and killing Jews. Think about some of
mm,
the African
man, Rose,
dictators, right? Think about some of the genocides that went down elsewhere. Lot more people. You know what I'm saying? So, there's so much to talk about with this stuff. First of all, it doesn't even it's ridiculous for him to even frame anything with like Kanye. Why are you talking about Hitler at all? Like, what are you? How? So we're just at that point, man, where I can't even like listen to the rest of what this fool's talking about. Like, it's just
again, we might not have a choice in the next couple years. Like,
right.
and
That's right.
whether and people are using this rhetoric to spew other things, and it's branching off into other things, and people are spinning it for their own agendas and things like that. So yeah, let's just pay
Yeah.
attention, man. And we saw what happened socially, under Trump. A lot of people support that I'm hearing of Trump is economic based, like it's just economics. Look at the money and some of the things that he was doing. People they're saying they made more money than ever under Trump. But what
Mm,
was going on socially? Where were we socially? Where were we as a people? And is that worth any of the money?
man. Before we get to the next story, I just want to make mention Whitney Richardson in the chat says, I get why people can be frustrated with Democrats, but Republicans are not for us at all. They are actively suppressing our right to vote in Georgia and all over the country. I got to say, neither are Democrats ain't for us at all either.
Yeah.
Sorry, but I don't know if it's because I'm from California or what, but all this looks like Democrats and Republicans to me. Like this is two sides of this is two entities that have caused much harm. Don't know what to do about that. It's not even up to us all the way. Like we're gonna do the best we can do, but until stuff starts getting way overturned, we're gonna suffer the same mess. It's gonna be the lesser of two evils all the time.
The pendulum
Carolyn Jack
swings.
says, "Sad thing is that he will be used and discarded." Where is right? Ooh, where is
Omarosa.
Omarosa? Ooh, hashtag where is Omarosa? Marianne
Dang.
Williams says he's not the most evil killer. That honor belongs to Americans.
All right. All
How
right.
many people did the atomic bomb kill?
Man, ooh. The institution of slavery. I mean,
That one in the genocide of the Native American. that woman said, I think it was the prolonged torture in countries funding him and harboring him that make the Nazi regime scary.
Guantanamo Bay. I mean,
8:10 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we're getting pretty deep into the truth. But yeah, let's jump back on some of these subjects that we're talking about here, so we can tie some of this all together.
well, it's definitely tied in. So to reel it back to our backyard, if you will, go from Trump to Ellen Pillen, man. Kind of our own, Trump guy who is now running, preparing to run. Well, no, I say running. Like he's hit the ground running. Again, Governor-elect Jim Pillen is already making moves, already making announcements. Just yesterday, he announced the creation of a school refinance forum committee to advise him about how to update and change the state's school aid formula. He's playing with the money. In a press release, he said the new committee is the start of fulfilling his campaign promise to distribute school aid on a per student basis. He is asking the group to recommend how to, quote unquote, create a system that invests in every Nebraska student, which he said the state does not do now. According to Pillen, of our 244 school districts, only 86 receive any state aid. The formula is not fair. It's not Nebraska. It gives up on our kids, Pillen said. Again, I said according to Pillen, because in reality, according to the Omaha World Herald, all public school districts do get some sort of state aid through the state's income tax rebate program. The program returns about 2% of the state income taxes collected from school district residents to the districts themselves. All districts are also eligible for net option funding, which reimburses districts for educating options enrollment students. And again, this formula is set to help districts who can't necessarily rely on or raise enough property tax money, i.e., school districts like OPS, who have a large amount of schools in East Omaha, where a lot of people don't pay property taxes or don't own property in that area. Actually, in the current year, about 886 million of the 1 billion in state schools support is going out as the equalization aid. That is the formula. It's called the equalization model. The number of districts getting equalization aid has dropped over the years as property valuations, particularly agricultural land valuations, have grown, which is kind of the interesting thing in this as far as property value in rural areas versus urban areas. And the past attempts to switch to per student aid, of course, has met stiff opposition from districts that would lose that money under such a change. Of course, those districts which educate the bulk of Nebraska students, like the largest district in the state, OPS, typically are at a maximum property tax levy and cannot easily replace state aid with local dollars, as I mentioned. So again, this whole committee is geared and directed towards changing this formula. So of course, you always bring up questions. What formula are they trying to replace it with? How will this help? And what's also interesting is who is a part of this committee and who isn't a part of this committee. I will say that members of OPS, including Dr. Superintendent Cheryl Logan, she does sit on the policy team. But you also have a Nebraska Farm Bureau, Nebraska Cattlemen, and most interesting to me, Americans for Prosperity Nebraska, which who is that? What is that? Americans for Prosperity Nebraska. I had to look them up. Americans for Prosperity is a national conservative organization created by the Koch brothers, if you're familiar with the Koch brothers. And it's really just all towards this whole Republican script, Republican agenda. It's very interesting to see, wonder why they were there. Of course, the political route was taken. Pillen says that he wants, a cross section of all stakeholders involved and policymakers from across the state are the initial members of the committee. But at the same token, the education chair isn't in the committee. The revenue committee chair isn't on the committee. Again, two of the main people who deal with the revenue and education in the state aren't a part of that committee, which I did find very interesting.
Say the least.
Yeah, to say the least.
that woman is calling Pillen Ricketts 2.0. I've been saying before he got elected, he's gonna be worse than Ricketts, and we're gonna see. He's following that script harder than Ricketts.
Man,
He's following a Trump script. Ricketts had a little bit little bit of opposition going on with Trump. He was closer to the other side of the way the Republicans have been split. But this cat is a straight Trumper, and he's already going in on schools before he even is sitting in the seat yet, before he's even in the building.
man,
Going in on the schools, man, in a harder way than he's following the money. Ricketts was trying to get in there and just close the school board down and just run it. He wanted the power. Pillen going after the money. Pillen's gonna go in here and and change school stuff up all the way.
yeah.
Uh
And he's pressing the gas. He says that he wants this committee to have some answers and to have a plan before the legislative session starts in January, on January 4th. So that's just weeks. Like they're moving very quickly.
yeah. They're gonna start making it so that if certain curriculum and stuff like that gets taught, then they're not gonna get certain funds. They're trying to make it so they're gonna control if they control the money situation, they're gonna control a lot.
Man, and yeah. That woman in the chat, uh, we right on the same page. I was just about to say, remember, Pillen was one of the University of Nebraska at Lincoln Regents who was against adamantly CRT. So your statement, Paul, is not. I don't feel like it's too far off. Like, what is this new formula that they're going to create for funding schools? And yeah, is certain curriculum tied to it? Remember the sex education standards and how that situation was handled? We don't know. And again, Americans for Prosperity is one of those super conservative organizations that apparently will be at this table. So yeah.
Jumping into the chat real quick, Stacey Jean says there's no way two political parties can address the needs of 30 plus million people. We should have more political parties. 30 plus million. Isn't there something like more than like 300 and something million people in this country? The Dems and Repubs won't give up their power to allow that to happen. I totally agree. People when we were at Mind and Soul, they were calling us the most left radio in Omaha, and that was fine. But we always felt the way we felt about it. I've been independent for a minute, bro, because I like I said, I came from California where there's three strikes laws and all kinds of stuff that went down that Democrats put in place.
Man,
Neither party has been for us. We ain't had a party since the Black Panther Party for anyway. That woman says it's common knowledge that public schools receive state funds. The fact that he doesn't even know how the funding works is a clue. He shouldn't have a comment on it, is much less committees. Woo,
hmm,
man. She says, yeah. Then she said, what you said earlier. My understanding is that they're anti CRT and sex ed. Remember, sex education includes physical development, hygiene, etc. Carolyn Jack, money, power, curriculum, straight up.
man.
Marianne Williams says Ricketts wants the same as Pillen, but couldn't achieve it because there were enough Dems in the legislature to stop it. Pillen has free reign. Woo!
Yeah, man. It's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough under Pillen, but I think you're spot on that it's gonna be worse than Ricketts.
I mean, yeah, I just think that his whole ideology, because he also thinks of himself as a Christian, and he wants to impart Christian values and so on and so forth. He's gonna he so does Ricketts, but Ricketts wasn't as vocal and stuff about it as Pillen is. And on top of that, there's that split that you got to think about that the Republican Party is going through. Some people
Yeah,
are for Trump, some people ain't.
yeah,
Pillen been for Trump this whole time. Yeah. So anyway, thanks for the insights on that. Thanks for your comments on this subject. Definitely something that we got to keep our eye on and fight from whatever side we need to fight for, because I really feel like there's going to be a war against education that is
hmm,
already started. It's
yeah.
already started. It's been heavy here. We've been talking about it all year. Cameron Snipe says, as a Nebraska table member or a partner, you can participate in our weekly legislative calls. We're also holding procession calls.
Okay.
Yep. That woman said, listeners don't bounce between here and Facebook. YouTube is delayed and you irritate yourself. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Sounds like personal experience there for sure.
Okay, okay.
She says also we're holding procession calls. Okay, procession calls. So yeah, I mean that's definitely a way to get in and start taking notice of what's going on there. The weekly legislation, find out what's going on there, participate in our weekly legislation calls. Um. So anyway, yeah, I just think it's one of those ones like we were paying attention to this before, but we're gonna have to pay close attention to this mess now and figure out what to do about it because there's gonna be a war on it for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. It's already happening on multiple fronts, not just, the future of like school funding in the future, but the past. Remember, Nebraska is one of the states wrapped up in this whole student aid
Yeah.
battle that's going on in the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court is still listening to challenges. We'll actually hear more challenges to Biden's student debt relief program coming up. Again, the Supreme Court, this is reported by NPR on Thursday, put Biden's student loan relief program on ice for now, agreeing to hear arguments about the program in February. So, again, for those of you who did go through that website, did go through that application process, you're going to have to wait and hold tight just a little longer to see if that will actually go through. The court's action means the rollout of debt cancellation will remain blocked until then. The case will be argued in February 2023 argument session. The court said in a brief order. And the challenge to the loan program was brought by a coalition of Republican-led states. Again, going right to what Paul was mentioning as far as Republican-led fight against education or in the realm of education. Their lawsuit initially dismissed by the district court, which said the states had not suffered an injury that would give them the right to sue. But the Eighth Circuit Court of Appeals subsequently blocked the loan forgiveness program from taking effect anywhere in the country while it considers the case. Of course, not only Nebraska, but Arkansas, Iowa, Kansas, Missouri, and South Carolina all comprise the coalition of states challenging this program. And they all argue that the Department of Education does not have the right to cancel loans in these circumstances. They say the pandemic is just being used as a pretext for fulfilling Biden's administration's campaign promise to cancel debt. And they contend that in addition to being fiscally irresponsible, which is sort of some of the rhetoric that I'm hearing against Biden and against Democrats as far as their irresponsible and rampant spending, but the program will specifically harm the state's loan authorities, state or nonprofit organizations that service federal loans by reducing their revenue. So, again, Republicans sticking to that script of, follow the money. The Biden administration position is, of course, defending the loan forgiveness program, signing in particular the Higher Education Relief Opportunities for Students Act of 2003, which authorizes the Department of Education to forgive student loans of some borrowers who are at risk of default because of quote unquote war, military operation, or a national emergency, which, again, the administration is saying the COVID-19 pandemic falls under that national emergency designation. Yeah. So again, we still have until February to wait on that situation, but that battle does continue in courts. And again, loan payments are on pause. Announced actually a couple days ago on the 22nd that the pause on student loan repayments will be extended once again. Repayments will begin now on August 29th of 2023. So
We ain't gonna get that money.
man, so you not hopeful, bro? Not hopeful?
I ain't hopeful. I'm tired of calling stuff and being right. I hope I ain't right about this one.
Man, you have been right. You have been, Paul Stradamus a little bit.
Negro Damas, you can call me. Tracy Shot is in the chat. Says good morning to you. Thanks for joining us over there on YouTube. Says he scares me. Talking about Pillen. The way he and Reynolds already talk, public education is going to be more strict. Don't get me started on the majority of Democrats. Also, later on, Whitney Richardson says, we'll see with this conservative Supreme Court. I have little faith in them. Yeah, man. That's what I mean. Marianne Williams says so. So we're more worried about the business that make money from student debt than we are students in debt. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for
pretty much. Yeah, that's what I'm
yeah,
reading as well.
yeah, yeah. Think worry about people before money. What? This is America. What you talking
What?
about?
Yeah.
Um, that woman says, Reynolds refused refused and said we don't need it. Right. Talking about the aid that was supposed to come. Really ridiculous, man. T Ren gives us a good morning. T Ren, is this somebody that we know already with a different name over on YouTube, or are you
Probably,
new?
probably.
Oh man. Yeah. This is definitely some crazy stuff. But yeah, I predict Negro Dominus predicts we're not gonna get that student.
It's not coming through. I mean, all it takes is again just the swoop of the pen, man. Like a lot of people's applications are already in. People are getting emails saying that we'll process it as soon as these court cases end. But you're saying that it's not looking good, huh?
Look, man. Whitney Richardson is saying the same thing I'm saying. She says, "We'll see with this conservative Supreme Court. I have little faith in them."
Yeah,
Same here, bro. Same here. They don't. Kim Reynolds. I always say this. That's her famous quote. We don't want our safety net to become a hammock. Tells me everything that I need to know about what she thinks about what people need and do and all that.
yeah.
So,
Um.
oh, Tanaya Patterson. Good morning, T. Ren. Okay, we
Okay,
gonna
okay, okay. Yes, yeah. I figured that was somebody we knew.
said
I
I like
figured.
it. Mhm.
I forget who said something in regards to public school, but that's Tracy Shatz. She says public education is going to be more strict, and that's kind of where my mind is going with this too. To kind of wrap it up, as even with the Supreme Court situation with student loan debt, with Pillen in this whole committee, like where does private school fall in this? And of course, we know that's one of the main points of the Republican script is to push private school, and it's going to be a situation where private schools are going to get a lot of more resources, and our public school, and families who can't afford private school are going to fall even further between the cracks.
There's states that's already taken Martin Luther King out of the curriculum.
There you go. There you go. So we'll definitely keep our eye on that. But we do have just about 30 minutes left in the show. Several other stories. So you want to keep it moving?
Yeah, but actually, let's take a quick break and then we'll come jump back onto those stories here. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you. Thanks for joining us over on YouTube. Tell a friend, tell a friend. We're moving over to YouTube,
Hey,
and we need you all to come on with us. The chat's going off. The chat sounds nice.
man.
Be right back. Speak got a little West Coast on it.
Hey,
You tired of Facebook dumping you off every 5 minutes, dancing all in the video? Come to Death Row. YouTube, baby. Thanks for joining us. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
in the morning.
Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd. Before we get to the next subject, real quick, I just gotta call one thing out because I'm getting a personal message right now. As a matter of fact, I just put respect on Mickey's name last
Oh
show,
man. Oh man.
and people are asking me what I think about it now, and all up in the for friends of First Sky Omaha with it. I'll go ahead and say it. Um, I think it's unfortunate that him and his family are going through what they're going through right now. I think it's unfortunate that he went the route of the domestic violence route. no matter what's going on, cheating or not. And what's really unfortunate is that because he's so high profile for what just happened for him being interim coach, that all his personal business and all their personal business is all out in the papers.
Man,
It's all out everywhere. It's the first thing Omaha World Herald's talking about, and so on and so forth. And I think it's unfortunate for him and his family. And I'll leave it at that. Um, appreciate what he did in the football world. Didn't appreciate what he did in his personal life. But that's between him and his wife and God and the police, I guess. So
man,
yeah, not y'all know me well enough to know I'm not about putting no hands on nobody, women or men.
right, right.
But I also have never been in a situation where I've been married and there was been some infidelity. Don't can't really call what's going on in their business is their business. It's unfortunate that it's all out in the public like that, and so it's unfortunate, and that's all I can really say about that. No, yeah, right. No comment. Don't really got no comment on it. I did what people are calling me out because I was putting some respect on his name, and that's why I'm
Mhm.
saying anything about it at all. Um, that's right. So we not. This is not the kind of cases we follow, and like I said, it's just unfortunate to me in the overall way that a black family is going through some hardships and their business is all out there like that, and he's it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say about that. Moving on, 8:31 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, appreciate everybody that's jumped in and said some things. Stacey Jean, well, yeah, we don't know what that's right. It's not our business. We don't know what really happened. It's sounds like it's whatever's happened is being handled. We can leave it at that. Um, lots of good comments in here on this. I appreciate y'all. I'm not gonna read through them, but I
Oh yeah,
appreciate.
I ain't expect that much input. But I will say, it just seems like the brother's having a very, very bad week, and I wish better for him. Hoping for the best.
His wife sounds like she's having the worst week, and I
Man,
don't really appreciate that part either. So,
no, no.
yeah, but anyway, like I said, I'm sorry for the whole for a black family whose face is all up in the newspaper right now over some mess, and
Man,
it's
the
it's
wrong reason.
unfortunate for all of us. Yeah. Moving on though, thanks for joining us again. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
That woman said, "What also worries me are all of the homeschools and homeschool coops that are popping up. They don't require teacher licenses and don't have stringent curriculum requirements. Those children are our future." Uh,
Hmm.
interesting. Also, Marianne Williams is trying to give us some hope. She said Congress could pass something still. Don't give up. Talking about the student debt relief.
There you
They
go.
only need 51 Senate votes to pass if student loan forgiveness is placed in the budget. I hope I'm wrong about it, but I can't see them. I can't see it. They fighting too hard on this little silly subject of $20,000. So yeah, man. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
It'll be a nice surprise if it happens. I will
yeah,
be
yeah.
pleasantly surprised. Yep.
Well, I'll tell you what did happen.
Mhm.
Senate did approve a measure meant to avert the railroad strike. So there's a victory. Take that
Is it
one.
though?
Is
Is
it?
it?
Well, for now, we'll say that again. If you didn't hear the news, as reported by NPR, the Senate has approved a measure meant to avert a railroad strike in 8 days without the paid sick days rail workers have been asking for. Which again is kind of why we're saying for now. Senators passed the bill to force unions to accept a tentative agreement reached earlier this year between railroad managers and their workers and make an imminent strike illegal without making any changes by an 80 to 15 vote. They rejected a measure to offer paid sick leave. Both measures required 60 votes to clear the Senate. And again, the sick leave vote only received 52. Both bills did clear the House Wednesday. However, Biden applauded the move and vowed to sign it as soon as Congress sends it to his desk, which could happen as soon as today. Working together, we have spared this country a Christmas catastrophe in our grocery stores, in our workplaces, and in our communities, says President Biden. But not all were satisfied. Certainly, Senator Bernie Chambers, or excuse me, Bernie Sanders, and not Ernie Chambers, but Senator Bernie Sanders was among the group of bipartisan senators who voted to reject the bill on the union contract after the sick leave effort failed, which again was the issue that these workers were fighting for in the first place, which definitely leads us to believe that there will be continued fighting. Just the can is kicked down the road for now, at least until after Christmas. But Senator Sanders says, we have to continue the fight, and I intend to do everything that I can to ensure that the day will come sooner or later that not only rail workers in America have guaranteed sick days, but all American workers. The majority of the House passed it, and the majority of the Senate passed it, but we weren't able to pass it because we need 60 votes, and that's unfortunate. So again, it has been kicked down the road for just a little bit, but at least we might be able to get through the winter without this situation, which again could make a winter, which is already going to be pretty long, that much more longer.
Mm. Whitney Richardson says they should be ashamed of not giving them paid sick days
Man,
when everyone in Congress themselves receives them.
that,
I'm looking for some comments from Rome's reviews. Let me know because because it seemed to me that they're not getting all the things that they wanted to get, and yes, like Stacey Jean said, not so good for workers. Not really sure what's going on with that. Lack of paid sick days is contributing to businesses not having enough employees, and clearly is affecting our economy. That woman says. But I want to, I'm trying to hear from rail workers on this. You
yeah,
know, basically they were going to strike. They still could. I
hmm
guess they still could. Will they? Is this thing that's passing is it making the rail companies give them what they want? Because it sounds like it's not giving them all of what they want.
no, or any of what they want. And honestly, I think it's going to make it worse because again, it's making a strike illegal. So it's not. It's basically forcing them to keep working. Like, yeah, we hear you, but just go back to work. Um, at least that could be how it's perceived from the workers, which again could incentivize them to fight even harder. Yeah, but yeah, I would definitely love to hear from Rome's review, who we know is a rail worker. But if we have any other rail workers in the chat, or if anyone who knows any rail workers, we'd love to hear your take on this situation.
Yeah. Um, Carolyn Jack says they were only asking for 7 days paid sick leave. So 7 days or 7 more days, which I mean, like, I'm trying to figure out which one is it because um they didn't have 7 days. Like, I let me know if anybody if anybody knows that. Let me know. Because yeah, it's like that woman is saying, lack of paid sick days is contributing to businesses not having enough employees and clearly affecting our economy. We've heard stuff from Mayor Sanchez about the conditions. Man, the conditions are messed up as far as work is concerned. You can't take no days off. You can't get sick. They don't have proper bathroom breaks. I mean, it goes on and on. It goes on and on about what it is. Rome's review, here he is. Finally, he says, we are all fortunate and blessed every day. It's a tough time and not ever going to be enough. No one would quit their current job and go work for them.
Mm.
Yeah, that's rough. Like to hear more about that because yeah, that's like to hear more about that. Because I'm not. First of all, I'm not convinced that there's not going to be a strike. I'm not convinced that there's not that there that I'm just not convinced. Whitney Richardson says they currently have no paid sick time. They're only asking for 7 days, bro,
Man,
a year. And these are people that are, they're talking about people who can work from home. That the other positions they can work from home. They can do all these other things. That's not the case with these rail workers,
no.
unfortunately. She says, "I want them to strike again and win. It will benefit the workers, but also send a message to other businesses." Whitney Richard. Oh, that's that woman says that.
Hmm.
Um, I'm kind of on the side of that too. I know that it will shut a lot down and make things pretty hard for us, but I also know that this reminds me of like when the pandemic hit and there was a lot of conversation about essential workers
Yeah.
and meatpacking plant people and rail folks and all these people who keep things moving for everybody aren't really treated like essential workers. Same thing. Maybe that's like a thing in this country. It's like teachers don't get paid right. Uh, nurses seem like they have a hard time a lot. Um, Amy Huffman says they didn't have any sick days, but also illness. These days take you out for a long time. You can burn through your pool of sick days in one stint.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if you got COVID, we here's what we went through with our company. Like if you catch COVID and you're supposed to be quarantined for a certain amount of time, and you can't come back to work until you test negative, that could be 3-4 weeks in a good scenario. What happens to your job? This is why people lost this. A lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people. This is the reason why things went like they did in the pandemic. Tracy Schott says, my cousin is a union steward for the railroad. He's exhausted but can't talk much about it. I definitely see the workers' side. I'm pro union and railroad workers. A strike is the answer, in my opinion.
Mm,
Prepare yourselves, your finances, and your pantries. Rome's Reviews just told you what's going down right there.
there you go.
Rome's Reviews is associated with the rail system, with the railroads. He's saying, prepare yourselves. So Pops brought this to my attention months back when all this stuff came up, because he was recognizing that the trade system that happens in our country, the lifeline is the railroad system. It's like the veins of the country, and that's how the blood and the goods get delivered is through these veins. If those things get held up, then there's going to be no goods on the shelf, no toilet paper on the shelf.
Man, it's gonna be
All
a long winter. I'm saying
It's
that's
gonna be a long, hard winter. Oil for propane, all kinds of stuff that people need for heat.
man. And what is going to be on the shelves, you won't be able to afford.
So what he so he said, Pop said month or two ago, he was like, go stock up on the staples now, because if this goes down, it's gonna be tough to do anything. Now, I can't that makes it inconvenient for us, but I still say rail people need to do it, whether it's inconvenient for us or not, because you can't be essential workers getting treated that badly where you can't even take sick days off without threat of getting fired and everything else. Um, it's that woman says it's very possible that since there was a lost it since there was a agreement that employees can't safely speak. Yeah,
Yeah.
they can't speak on it. Brittany Richardson says teachers, nurses, flight attendants, even pilots have been organizing for better working conditions. This country does not give a damn about workers.
Not at all I want to say is they don't really care about
Come
us.
on, Michael. Rose Review says 16 years without a turkey or ham, 3 years without a raise.
Mm.
He said, get your stuff in order, bro. Railroad and truckers. That's right. Tracy Schott. Carolyn Jackson says benefits vary from contract to contract, but some have short-term disability that starts in as little as 4 days. If you're out sick, you have to be sick. You have to be sick or use paid time off. That woman says Iowa child care providers discussed a shutdown due to a governor refusing funds for them, but providers care about their clients like family most times, so they didn't shut down for the 2 days. Uh, Gwen Easter has used up all the 199 words. I'm not going to go into. We'll come back to your comment there, but I really appreciate you putting your thoughts out there.
That's the
In home
story of the homeless man that she helped, by the way.
I'm glad you put that in there. I wanted to hear what happened there. That woman said in-home child care providers in Oregon and California are unionized.
Mm.
I wonder if that would help Omaha. We hear a lot about this. If they would unionize in Omaha, what that would mean. Interesting. So yeah, let's move on from that. Like I said, we'll go through Gwen Easter's comment here, but just for time's sake, make sure that we get through to the next. But I think that's a kind of the gist of the story here. Is don't, like Whitney Richardson said, don't feel like they are caring about workers, man.
No.
And we know too many folks that work at the rail system. It's a big company here in Omaha, Nebraska, especially. I know I did. I wanted to hear it. It's all right. I do want to hear that long story. I'm just trying to. I want to catch it within the context of the time of the show here. So I appreciate you doing that. I know. I said I wanted to hear it. Uh,
Go back and read it.
I'm gonna go back and read it. Yeah, for sure. Um, but uh, but yeah, we know too many people in the rail work is, too many people that work for the railroad that we have to say we've heard that the conditions are so bad. Like we gotta say, do what you got to do, man. Strike. Do what you got to do.
Yeah. Yeah. But this goes back to what you were saying as far as like where we fall on the political spectrum, if you will. Like again, I know it's very heavily Democratic over here as far as some of the candidates, but that's on a case by case individual basis. It's not because they're Democratic; it's because they agree, first of all, to come on the show and take the time to speak with us. And after speaking with them, we formed an opinion of the individual. That's kind of how that works. We don't have pressures on because she's a Democrat. We have pressures on because she's Precious, who happens to be a Democrat. So with that said, we're definitely calling out Democrats, and to that point, I am kind of looking at this comment from Biden sideways as far as what we're saying. He says, working together, we have spared this country a Christmas catastrophe in our grocery stores, in our workplaces, and in our community. So it's like, it's saving Christmas worth, forcing these workers to continue to work in these you know, conditions. Like what really is, you just got to bring up the question: what really is your concern? What really is your focus? And definitely that goes right along with Democrats and their use of the black community. Are we just another vote? Do you actually care about us? Or is it how you use us? And that's one concern that's coming from this article in thehill.com that states advocates are pushing Democrats to prioritize black community ahead of 2024. Black advocates are calling on Democrats to deliver on promises they made to black voters on the midterm campaign trail if they want to keep their support in the 2024 presidential election. Of course, while midterm outreach included figures such as Democratic National Committee Chair Jamie Harrison, who traveled through battleground states such as Pennsylvania and Georgia to meet with black voters, advocates are concerned that Democratic enthusiasm to engage with the key voting bloc could diminish until the next election cycle ramps up. Basically, again, just poking your head out when you need our votes, but in any other time, you're ghost. So what's up with that? Alicia Garza, who's a principal of Black to the Future Action Fund, says what we consistently see as it relates to largely to political parties, both political parties, is that the outreach, the engagement, the investment in black voters, who are the strongest constituency in the Democratic Party, comes too late to have any real kind of impact. Garza also went on to say, our communities already expect that once the races are called, nobody's going to be texting us, nobody's going to be calling us, and nobody's going to be concerned about what it is that we want. But the priorities that we know don't end up on election day are the priorities that we hear from black voters regularly. So leading up to the election, black voters and organizations identified topics such as inflation and the economy, job security and housing, and white supremacy and nationalism as some of their top concerns. And Keturah Haran, who's a former American ACLU policy strategist and newly elected representative in the Kentucky House of Representatives, pointed out these topics along with racial justice concerns and the overturning of Roe v. Wade, which pushed black voters to the polls and encouraged them to mobilize their family and friends in what they saw as a life or death election. So again, this is something that's been talked about here on the show in the chat as far as, Democrats' treatment of our black and brown, brothers and sisters and just certain candidates, regardless of party affiliation, only poking their head out when it's election season.
Yeah, we could name some names on that real easy, but that's pretty much all of them. That's pretty much a lot of them.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and so yeah, just to jump into the chat real quick, Whitney Richardson says they should definitely prioritize black voters more. I agree on that. They wouldn't be in office without us, and we don't always see the return on investment. So I get why black folks get frustrated.
Yeah.
Well said. I really agree with that myself. Like you don't see the return on investment at all. Hardly ever.
And I always go back to the Hillary Clinton comment that she made when she was on the Breakfast Club during her campaign. Like that left a real sour taste in my mouth. Like she's on the Breakfast Club talking about she got hot sauce in her purse. So I'm like, you gotta, the whole kente cloth on Juneteenth. It's like how hard do you have to shuck and jive for our vote? And then it's like, what are you doing with the vote? You're doing all this shucking and jiving to get it, and then you don't even really look out.
Well, look, man, it's funny because you say that about Hillary Clinton on the Breakfast Club, and that's your generation. My generation was Bill Clinton on Arsenio Hall
With the sax.
with a saxophone doing the same thing.
Man, with the shades on, yeah, yeah, and
Yeah,
that worked for a lot of times, you know.
he me
Hey,
he messed it up for a whole lot of white saxophone players. I'm gonna say that. Chad Stoner's still mad at him.
oh man,
Nah, I'm just playing. But yeah, that same thing, man. You coming on there and you trying to appeal to people, and then you go and Hillary Clinton calling people predators and Bill Clinton,
man, super
putting
predators, not just predators, super
super
predators.
predators, and Bill Clinton putting three strike laws in place. Him and Biden putting three strike laws in place in places and all that.
All right,
It was also the one that made your conviction for crack 100 times more, 100 times more time than the same amount of cocaine, or powder cocaine. They did a whole bunch of stuff, smiling in your face and then coming back. So it is that's what it is.
smile in your face,
The backstabbers.
backstabbers.
There's a person on Friends of First Sky Omaha named Michael Watts. Not sure if you're in the chat, but you've been putting a lot of stuff on Friends of First Sky Omaha. A lot of good points. Having a lot of discussion over there too. Like I said, when we're not live, we're kind of having some discussions over here on Friends of First Sky Omaha. We're gonna keep that, even though we're moving the live show over to YouTube. We're gonna keep the Friends of First Sky Omaha on Facebook in order to have some of those kinds of conversations. And if you I was just gonna put it out there. What was the brother's name again?
Michael Watts.
Michael Watts. Yeah, if you are listening to the show, come on in to the chat and let's definitely talk there too for sure. Um, but yeah, but shout out for some of these ideas out here, and I know that he's one of these people that really question what the Democratic Party is doing all the time. He calls out Precious McKesson. He's been calling out Cameron Snipes. He puts them up by name on some of these posts and saying, "What about this? What about that?" There he is. He says here, but would not consider it a conversation. Okay,
Okay,
well, you can always make it a conversation. You can always speak up on some things. But like I said, just wanted to give you a shout out for putting the things out there that you do on the Friends of First Sky page, and then and calling folks out, man, and asking, saying, well, what about this? What about that? I have these questions as well. When they finally come up, I'm like, oh yeah, I should have been asking that. So it's interesting to hear that, but it is a question around here because we do get a lot of push that black folks ought to be voting Democrat. But like I said, I've been hearing a lot of cats voting Republican, and what I'm not hearing is a lot of cats voting Independent and
man.
and try and because we still only have these two sides to pick from, even if we're picking independent, and that's what some of the problem is. When Easter says the Democrats, politicians, and some black leaders don't care about the community and saw that when they helped Sherwood Foundation push out hundreds of black owned daycare businesses in North Omaha to help set up her educare early childhood centers. Hillary is user, and I definitely was not voting for that evil woman who is okay with killing babies at 8 months. Okay,
Hmm.
so like I said, when I'm thinking about people who have opinions about certain issues, what are you gonna do? There might be something that is going on, like with a Hillary, like you're saying. You're not just gonna vote for somebody because they're Democrat if you don't agree with what their politics and stuff are. And we forever have this the best of the best of what's the phrase I always mess up, the two
What?
evils,
Yeah, better of two evils or whatever.
better of two evils, always better of two evils, always. Like we can't just there can't just be somebody running that is right. It's always got to be the better of two evils all the time, and that disenfranchise people to do anything about it. Why would you even want to?
Yeah, I mean, I go back to what Brother Johnson, former owner of the BET, he called for quote unquote black people to create their own political party.
That's
Um,
it.
yeah, which maybe that's the way to go.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
that's
that's
the way
that's
to
the
go.
Black Panther Party. Whitney Richardson says, "I still don't think voting Republican is the answer when they are openly promoting white supremacy, though. I mean, Democrats are not are also promoting white supremacy, just not openly.
And that's what that goes back to people in the community in the streets, like that's kind of why they support Trump. It's like I rather, you know what I'm saying? I rather know where you stand than
That's
you smiling in my face.
that's interesting. Um, lesser of two evils. Thank you, Stephanie,
Right,
so
right, right, right,
saying
right.
that wrong. Lesser of two evils. Yeah,
Both got it
but
wrong.
I talk to a lot of cats that I know are from down south that are like, I prefer our kind of racism than your kind of racism.
Right, right, right. Because that South, you did, hey, you know, y'all call each other names and y'all go y'all separate ways. And everybody knows where everybody stands. And you know, you don't go over there after night, you know, after sunset, and you know, you stay over here and this, that, and third.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I
don't
mean, I would rather do away with it all, but yeah, I mean, I understand why some people would say that. I'll put it that way. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I guess.
But just about 5 minutes left. I will wrap up our news portion and section was saying that if Biden, you know, does want some support, it does want to, you know, if Democrats do want to ingratiate themselves more to quote unquote black voters, look at this reparations situation. Again, you know, they cut that reparations check. Whoever does that will get undying loyalty. A 9-member reparations task force has spent months traveling across California to learn about the generational effects of racist policies and actions. And now Governor Gavin Newsom is scheduled to release a report to lawmakers in Sacramento next year outlining recommendations of state level reparations. But again, that's at the state level. Will this lead to national conversations and in a national process or system? We don't know. But again, the party that does that might get a leg up on the quote unquote black vote.
Maybe for about 5 minutes
Yeah, maybe.
till the money runs out.
And we give it right back. Yeah,
Because
that
they
part.
ain't right. We
Yeah,
put it
that
right
part.
back
Yeah.
in that economy. Yeah, I don't know, man. We'll
But
see.
yeah, that does it. That does it for the news today, man.
That article is really interesting to kind of see where they're trying to pull some figures from, though. That was the interesting part to me. Is like how are they figuring out how much you're supposed to give black folks is pretty funny.
Man,
Yeah. So you guys are going off in the chat. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah, shout out to Kimmer Snipes, bro. You're right. Michael Watts, Kimmer, the only one that talks. Yeah, she be speaking up. So we gonna try to get everybody to speak up a little bit more as we go on. Again, thank you for everybody who is joining us over here on YouTube as well. As far as Haps is concerned, we didn't got to the end of the show already and really didn't even get into any Haps that are happening.
you got any?
I can't. I mean, um, not
Not really.
really.
Not really.
Yeah, not really. Let me see if the gala happened already. Did the gala happen already? December 10th. Okay, so no, the gala has not happened. Afro Excellence Gala is going down December 10th. And there's a lot of sponsors on here, which is cool. Food, dance, fashion. They really put an extravaganza on when they do this. It's really just like you just watching Black excellence walk around here for these things.
Man,
Definitely check it out. Get your tickets. Be a part of the Afro Excellence Gala 2022. Definitely check it out for it's Saturday, December 10th. That's coming up. So yeah, that's kind of it's about about what's on my mind. Anybody else got any haps real quick? Joyful Noise this weekend. Okay,
okay.
that's what's up. Appreciate you, Carol and Jack. Um, as a matter of fact, I think there is a flyer for there was this is the one I was thinking of right here. So here's some stuff coming up. Christmas in the Village is happening tomorrow on the 3rd from noon to 5. December 10th, Black Business Market is happening. December 26th to January 1st is Kwanzaa in the Village.
Hey,
So yeah, let's see what's going on there. Definitely stuff going on in the Deuce. So you want to check that out for sure. Let
man.
me check in the chat and see.
Ja Rule and Ashanti, they're coming on the 10th, if anyone cares.
Hey, that's great. I'm not a big Ja Rule fan. I just put it
Oh,
out.
would I be without my baby?
Oh, please no. Uh, Whitney Richardson, who's been commenting profusely today, which we really appreciate,
Thank you.
has thank you very much. Yes, for that. She has a podcast called Political Evolution. You can get it where you get your podcasts, which is everywhere. I think Apple, Spotify, all those places. But definitely check out her interviews. Definitely is a great show, and I love the fact that she's got this going on here, talking about straight politics that's going on here in our, and not just local politics, but national politics too. Bringing it all in context and having some great conversations with great guests. So definitely check out Political Evolution with Whitney Richardson. Appreciate it. She's an avid chat chimer, and we appreciate it. And again, gotta say, please understand that we are going to transition to YouTube exclusively for the chat, and go with us on this journey. We'll figure out the tricks of the trade so we can keep on having good conversations and things on that. But we will stay on First Sky Omaha, the Facebook page, to do the live broadcast until December 16th. Then we're going to take a break. We're going to come back on January 16th. And when we do, we'll be exclusively over on YouTube. So get your YouTube, uh, your new YouTube accounts together and all that good stuff. Appreciate it. Michael Watts is might start a podcast next year. So
Okay.
let us know. We got some. We down to help. We down to see what's up. Rose Review says, don't forget to tell them First Sky sent you. Hashtag First Sky. Yeah, man, we can start using
Hey.
hashtags now and all that good stuff. So please tell a friend. Tell a friend. Really appreciate that. Miss Erica Fell says, great show with great conversation and food for thought. Follow it with water. Excuse me. Direct your money this weekend, so you're not frustrated Monday. Be good to yourselves. Yeah, they'll spend them all the money up on the weekend and be mad on Monday. Gwen says, I know a lot of black people who voted for Trump over the last 10 years. I got to know many Republicans who are not racist and have stood up for community at the board of education and how North Omaha business are being treated. They stand up against black mothers being targeted for abortion. Interesting.
Hmm.
So that's what I mean. Like, I'm finding out a lot of folks, a lot of folks in our community voted for Trump. A lot of folks in our community have different deals. And before we get out of here, too, I know it's 9:01, but I want to acknowledge, because I did go off and read Miss Gwen Easter's story, and shout out to her for helping this homeless man. It was a veteran. The police got involved. She helped them, help this man get some. I didn't see your post on Facebook. I appreciate it when people put posts up that they're trying to do something, they're trying to help something, get somebody involved to come try to help with that. I missed that. I missed your post, but you did put it out there for people to kind of help, try to take some action. Doesn't sound like anybody really did, but we appreciate your efforts to try to help this homeless man that had problems. Apparently, he was a person who was homeless, and the police even knew who he was because he's been homeless a long time. And again, a veteran, and she did a lot to try to help this person. She said later on that evening, God blessed and laid on my heart to call a friend who lives in Elkhorn and works with organizations that work with men in North Omaha. So he came, some guys there. They picked up the chair. This brother needed a chair and other items, and took him to the veteran hospital.
Man.
So yeah, go back and read the rest of her story there. Very encouraging and really inspiring, man. Because we see stuff like this happen all the time, and we'll pass right by or won't do anything. What don't know what to do sometimes really is the problem too. Like, I know that I've been in that situation where I just don't even know what to do. And so this is a good story and a good example of somebody who's really trying to help on that level where you know what I'm saying, you get out and you talk to that homeless person and ask them what can I do? What can I do to help you?
Man.
Appreciate you, Gwen Easter, for all the stuff that you do, and everybody else who's in the chat. And appreciate everybody who is joining us and jumping in and having these conversations as well. Don't forget, we have a chat chimer, Miss Erica Felt, who's going through some stuff too. I'm gonna put the mealtrain.com in the chat as well. Miss Erica Felt is a child care provider, a chat chimer, a friend of First Sky Omaha, and she's had to go through some cancer treatments lately that has put her down and made it so that she can't really run her business right now, taking care of them babies. So definitely help her out. Let's reach out and help her as well. That meal train is in the chat right there. You can hit that meal train link and go there, and that's a site where you can get food ordered for her, or you can make food and take it to her. Put yourself on a schedule, but it's also a place where you could donate some cash, because even though she needs the kind of help that everybody needs the most is to help pay that rent. It is rent time right now. It's the second of the month, and until she can get back on her feet and really kind of get her business up and rolling, we need to do all we can to support. So went ahead and put that in the chat too. Please check it out. Linda in Chicago says, in case you didn't know, click the bell by subscribe and you will get notified when the shows start.
There
Yes.
you go.
Thank you. Click
Bang
that
the
bell.
dilly. Bang the
Bang
dilly on the
the
run
dilly.
of kind.
We say bang the dilly. That's Pootie Tang for ring the bell. So
Pootie.
appreciate everybody that joined us today, buddy. You got any words for the people?
Man, before we get out of here, just wanted to wish my man Aggie Kid a happy belated birthday.
Hey.
Yeah, man. Much love to the guy, man. Good fellow, man. Definitely happy belated birthday. Hopefully you enjoyed your day. Squad in the building. And yeah, man, until next time. Big shout out to all the chat chimers, all the ghost listeners, all the first time listeners. Hopefully you won't be last time listeners, but if you are, thanks for testing us out. We thank you for coming and embarking on this journey, this experience, as I like to call it. And yeah, catch the same time, same place, man. Big shout out to everybody. Take care of yourselves over the weekend. We love you. We thank you. We appreciate you. The show would not be the same without you. We are preparing for season 5. Feels good to say. Man.
Yeah.
So we appreciate the support thus far. We're constantly working and looking at how to improve. So again, if you have any ideas, any things you'd like to see, feel free to let us know. But in the meantime, in between time, Paul B.
Yo.
Take it away.
I love what Brother Valentine had to say, man. Let's start thinking about New Year's resolutions. He says his, for me, is to not renew memberships in non-productive efforts and allocate it to street-based community efforts. I like that.
Okay.
Netflix don't need that $16. We can give it to somebody else to do something else with it.
Man.
Yeah, that's what's up. Oh, okay. That woman says I'm actually about to shut down Meal Train. There have been some problems with people coming to my door. It's best to use Cash App or Venmo. Okay.
Okay.
Appreciate you knowing that. Appreciate you telling us that. So we'll stop pushing that address there. Gwen Easter, I will absolutely get in touch with you on advertising your daycare for sure. Carolyn Jack says great show with a Purple Heart. Thank you, Purple Fam. Appreciate you. And we will be checking up and seeing what's going on with Pops. We missed Pops today, and I don't think I got any call about if he was doing anything different this morning. So I'll check in on him. But thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for following us over here at YouTube. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Have them go sign up at YouTube and bang that dilly, hit that bell, and like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Want to give thanks to the Omaha tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land. I want to give thanks to our elders for allowing us to speak before them, and I want to give thanks to you, the chat timers, allowing us to speak with you. Thank you very much for your input. It's always appreciated, and the show does not happen without you. Also, I want to thank everybody who is a reoccurring member of the channel as well. If you're a person that wants to donate to the cause, then go to firstskyOmaha.com, hit the donate button, and become a reoccurring member so we can keep these conversations flowing and the tech and keep the tech up and all that good stuff that we need to do in order to make that happen. So appreciate everybody that's doing it. And if you're so inclined, please go to firstskyOmaha.com, hit the donate button and help us out. Other than that, we're going to if you got haps and things that's going on this weekend that you think we need to be checking out, put them in Friends of First Sky Omaha over on the Facebook page, and hopefully we'll be able to pick those up and see what's going on. Whitney Richardson says, "Have a great weekend, y'all. You too. You guys have a great weekend, and thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you Monday. Peace."
By the way, Vanglorious. This is protected by the red